We are 2 minutes late right now, and I got to pull Jeff up here so he can get on stage with us.
Dan's not happy whatsoever. Happy
All
Friday,
right,
guys.
so
Happy Friday.
We are getting ready. We're going to go live here on LinkedIn. I'll get us going there. Hey, well, we were laughing backstage, but I'm going to get this live on LinkedIn, and we are going to be going here.
Happy Friday.
All right.
We don't have any music, though. Yeah.
Welcome once again to the Manufacturing Ecommerce Success Series Friday event. I'm one of your co-hosts, Damon Pistulka, and with me today, I've got Curt Anderson and one of our guests today. We got Jeffry Graham with us. We're going to be talking about a topic, and go ahead, just take it away, Curt.
Guys, happy Friday. So Damon, hello, my friend. Thank you for another wonderful Friday. And Jeffry Graham. So guys, I just want to introduce everybody to Jeffry Graham. And lo and behold, though he is a very special guest, he's not our only special guest today. So we have another surprise for you. Dan, Gail, Don. So just, don't go anywhere. You guys want to hang tight. So
yeah.
Guys, so let's just jump right in. We got a lot to unpack. We have a really fun-filled program for you today. So guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the e-commerce roadmap. What do you think about that? So I'm a Talking Heads fan. We always do our song. Damon, you remember our song? This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. This ain't no fooling around, right?
Ain't no fooling around.
That's a Talking Heads song. Well, they have another great song that ties in perfect with our program today. It's called On the Road to Nowhere. Does anybody remember the Talking Heads, On the Road to Nowhere? So that's exactly what we don't want to have happen with your e-commerce strategy. So let's just jump right in. Damon, why do you need to have a full plan on your roadmap for your e-commerce strategy?
Well, I think that the first thing when we talk about a roadmap, right, is you think about, you get in, whether you're using it on your car or your phone, like we all do now, or you're old school, as somebody may still be, if you don't have, if you're not taking the road, right? The roadmap's real important, and I think a digital and a sales growth roadmap is so important for the simple fact that business executives, managers, owners on a daily basis need to make sure they're doing the right things. Mm-hmm. And if you know where you're going and got a pretty good idea what it takes to get there, that roadmap will keep you on track, because as all of us, we are attracted to the shiny objects, right? And some new technology might, whoa, this technology is great, but does it really get us to where we want to go? And is it part of our overall roadmap and our strategy to get there? I think that's really key. That it's one of the things why you need to have that vision of where you're going and communicate it right. I believe. Exactly.
And Jeffry, so I'll come over to you now. So hot word with Bitcoin is what FOMO, that it's a common word now, phrase, fear of missing out. So let's talk commerce. We encounter a lot of manufacturers are like, hey, I hear so-and-so is doing Facebook ads. I need to do social media. I need to do, because I hear it on the street. So therefore I have FOMO. I'm going to do it. Talk a little bit about really getting into that roadmap on we need a destination, just that shotgun blast just is not effective.
Yeah, absolutely, Curt. You hit it in the nail on the head. There's a lot of manufacturing companies out there that are, it's the next best thing, or, it's TikTok right now or whatever, right, is popular. But I always say, from the get, you got to put the train track down before the train gets there. And a lot of times people aren't thinking of that strategy. They're not thinking the long term. They're not thinking about, hey, when I go from A to B, I haven't really roadmapped B. So I'm just at A and I'm throwing mud at the wall hoping something sticks. E-commerce is a very different beast. It's very competitive. It's changed a lot. To win in this space, you have to be extremely strategic. You have to be extremely smart, and you have to make good decisions. And we all have been through the horror stories of bad decisions. That's how we all three of us got good at this thing called e-commerce. That's why we lost some of our hair, at least for me. That's why I lost most of mine. Curt, you're a little bit ahead of me, but I'll be there soon, buddy. It's really important. You have to have a strategy. You have to execute on that strategy, but you can't bite off more than you can chew. And a lot of companies do that, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, during this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Damon, go ahead.
No, I was just going to quick say, if you're watching us on LinkedIn, go ahead and chime in there, where you're listening from, questions you got, anything there as well. But yeah, I agree 100%. I like that analogy you use, Jeff, is you got to lay the tracks before the train gets there. And that's, I think, as an executive or a manager or a marketing and someone just responsible for the marketing and being able to report to somebody that is authorizing the money. If you know where that track is going and you know what it should look like when you get there, you can explain to them. Or if you're that executive, you know that we're going to the right place. It's so important.
Absolutely. And if there's a mountain in front of you, you can see it. And then you can build a tunnel, or you can go around it, right? If we're just using the train analogy. And a lot of times that's just not a part of the conversation. And in the e-commerce world, it's the long game. You got to think the long game. You can't think the short game. It's not putting, it's the whole meal. So it's everything from being good at hitting off the tee all the way down to that last putt. So yeah, absolutely.
So Jeff, I love when you talk about this analogy. If you go to that specialist, that expert, you're going to have the problem that expert knows, right? Yeah. So share a little bit about, I love when you give this analogy. I'll let you take it from there. Explain to everybody what.
I'm just going to have everyone go to a car lot today.
Yeah.
You don't need a new car. Go to a car lot. You need a new car.
Right. Go to your insurance. You need insurance, right?
Exactly. So the issue is there's a bias attached to SEO, person that does SEO, and person that does websites, person that does multi-channel management, person that does ERPs, whatever. The reality is there's a bias attached to it. So when you come to me, if I'm a website developer, I know you have a website problem because I can always make something better and make a change. And so a lot of times we get sucked into the fact that we're not thinking about our business in e-commerce or in general as a whole. We're thinking about it in an isolated little bubble, right? Which most CEOs live in and talk to themselves, because who else are you going to talk to about where you're going to go with your business other than your executive or leadership team? So a lot of times people just, you go to an SEO company and they're like, oh, your SEO is all messed up. You need to get on first page of Google. Here, we're going to get you there. We're going to do all these things. And next thing you know, you pay 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, and you're no better off than when you started. And that's it's low hanging fruit. It's easy way to take advantage of people. And it's happened in our industry in e-commerce for a long, long, long time. And I think that's just remember that biased situation that you're going to end up dealing with when you go to providers. And then what we'll hopefully do is talk a little bit about what maybe to ask in order to avoid that.
Right. Exactly. So finding that trusted guide, that Sherpa, somebody that's going to help you navigate. And speaking of Sherpa, Damon, we have an amazing guest coming up next month. We have Allison Levine. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She's climbed the highest peak of every continent. What a blessing that we have. She has a great TED Talk that she does. So she's speaking next week. So speaking of Sherpas, but let's segue into so folks out there, how do you find that trusted guide, that trusted resource? So my dear friend, my beloved Jean Corrales is on the call with us today. She's with the Small Business Development Center here in New York. Love Jean dearly. So we do a lot of work with SBDCs. And then, of course, we all know we love the MEPs, the Manufacturing Extension Partnerships. As a matter of fact, our beloved Dr. Alyssa Rodriguez was supposed to be our guest today. Her and her partner just had a baby recently, and so she was unable. She's trying to catch up on sleep. Next Friday, we have the MEP director from New York. We have Elena Garuk is going to be our guest next Friday. So Damon, talk a little bit for folks. I know Dan Bigger's a big MEP fan, but talk a little bit about the Manufacturing Extension Partnerships and why manufacturers can turn like SBDC, MVPs, those trusted guides to help them get on that roadmap.
Well, you know, those places are a repository for certain resources, and they probably have guides that they can introduce you to that do this. And when I think about guides, you're the speaker we have coming up that climb mountains is always, I always think of Sherpas, because you know that Sherpa has been up and down that mountain before. Maybe not that exact mountain, but they've been up the mountains, and they know what you need to do at a certain elevation. They know what has to happen as the temperatures do this. They know what the weather needs to look like, you know. And you look at these SBDCs and these MEPs, they've navigated a lot of this, and they have resources. And what they can usually do is get you into a place that or get you in touch with someone that can be that more. I'm not talking a technician. I'm talking a generalist in that area. So if you talk about something like e-commerce, we talk about a lot. I'm not talking about the best web developer for my problem today. I'm talking about the best e-commerce strategist, you know, roadmap person, whatever you want to call it. Get in touch with that person that can give you the overall and talk with you and learn where you're at. And as Jeff was saying, will prevent you from making that 10, 20, 30, $50,000 mistake. I mean, and it's not really a mistake on your part as a business owner, executive, marketing person, right? Because listen, everybody has improvements in every area of your digital game. You do. Your website could be improved. Yes, you could use pay-per-click. Yes, your SEO is not good enough. Your social's not good enough, right? It's all not good enough. But don't take my word for it. Take Mike Mikhailovic. He writes books for this stuff about business. Fix this next. You have to know what the next steps are and what you got to do. Because if I'm sitting here today and I need to go digital, manufacturers are confronted with this, that they need to go digital now. And if you go digital, but I go all in because someone says you need to be using pay-per-click. And you ran into this situation earlier this year with a client, Curt. They got into an expensive, many thousands of dollars, several $1,000s plus every month by a pay-per-click company. They got sold on pay-per-click, right? $40,000+ a year they're spending. They got no results from it. And someone came in, and a good salesperson sold them on pay-per-click. Now, yes, it cost them money, but it also cost them time. And if you have this roadmap, we would know that, yes, pay-per-click is one of our things that we need to improve upon, but I have to know who I'm selling to. I have to come up and search like I want to. I have to be dominant in the search and I want to, and I have to have all my pieces in place before I'm ready to do this step, so that you're not getting sold a new website that, yes, your website could look better, but I don't get any traffic to it because my search isn't right.
You're still
or my messaging is not, it's just all these pieces have to come in place. Like, you don't put the roof on a house before you build the rafters and the substructure. You got to put the foundation in and work your way up. And it's that simple. The roadmap needs to be laid out like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been very, very blessed. And our dear friend Don from Alaska is on the program today. So what we've been working relentlessly at and partnering with a lot of MEPs is what we're calling the do it with you concept, where we're trying to teach the manufacturers how to fish. So Jeffrey, we have a privilege of we've done some programming with Alaska, Impact Washington, where Seattle, where Damon's at. We have an exciting program coming up on Tuesday, the 29th at the New York MEP. Jeffrey, talk a little bit about that do it with you concept and how, and Don, you'll love my analogy, how we're trying to teach our manufacturers how to fish.
Yeah, so one of the, again, like Damon just said, wasting money on PPC and, going through all these mistakes and having all these challenges. The reality of the reason that the MEPs and manufacturing companies want to be thinking about these things is because when you look at your business from an e-commerce perspective, if you do not build the plan, the strategy, and then have an execution behind it, that's it always dies on essentially dies on the hill or whatever.
Right, sure, yeah,
and then the other part of it is it's, if you don't execute, you don't win, first and foremost in e-commerce. And then what was the other part of your question, Curt? You had another part that you said that you wanted me to answer.
Yeah, just kind of like going through that do it with you. And so I'll just interject real quick.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So yesterday I'm on a call. Someone on our team, Allison DeFord, who we love dearly, she did a webinar recently, and she connected me with this gentleman that was at her workshop. And this gentleman, great manufacturer, incredible career, knows it inside and out. He's president of a nice custom manufacturer. All day long, probably 9 o'clock he's the CFO, 10 o'clock he's the HR director, at 11 o'clock he's operational excellence. Oh, by the way, I need to throw in a little bit of marketing. So he hires an SEO person because he's supposed to, and he's just not happy with the results. Well, that SEO person is probably a little frustrated because she can't speak the language of the product that he makes. He's a little frustrated because he can't speak the SEO language. He doesn't, keywords is what, what's Google Keyword Planner, So again, talk about how you help those manufacturers bridge that gap.
You lost my train of thought there, but basically think of it like accountability. The reason that you need someone to teach you to fish, the reason that you need someone that is going to teach you how to do this on your own is so that you know what to avoid in the future. It isn't necessarily to bill hours. It isn't necessarily to get this or that. It's to know what you need in the future. And you have to know enough to know where you're going to make a mistake or where you're not going to make a mistake. You don't need to be an expert at SEO to know when someone tells you, I can get you on the first page of Google, that you should turn around and run the other direction. Okay. I know a lot of people probably hear that. It's baloney. It's like the sales tactic of tactics. I'm going to get you on the first page of Google. It's a lie. Fact, lie. Google decides who's on the first page. So the reality is having it, doing it with you allows folks that have made the mistakes like me and Curt and Damon that have screwed up a lot and have learned how to do it really well so we don't screw up. Right. It essentially saves a lot of time. And that accountability, that consistency, that push, it's a push, and Damon can attest to this. It's like rolling a rock uphill, huh, Damon? I mean, it just really is that way. And then there's so many different elements of e-commerce and digital transformation. There's platforms, there's, there's hundreds of things you can do, and there's 100 things you can do wrong.
Right. Exactly.
So you got to be smart about it.
So with that, so I know everybody's just burning all week. We have a special guest, Damon. I think that guest is coming up here in a minute. So I've one last question, and then we've got to bring that special guest up. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're getting close.
So I'll put this out to either one of you. Damon, I'll start with you. How do you encourage? You're doing a great program. You just had a great meeting this morning. When you're working with these manufacturers that, again, that marketing, digital marketing has just never been on their wheelhouse at any point in time. We've been in business for 20, 30 years. They just never needed it. How do you help them to better communicate what their strategies, talking with that SEO expert or the pay-per-click website guy, woman? How do you help your clients, or how do you help those folks, or what advice do you have to better communicate for that manufacturer with these marketing folks?
It's funny how it comes back to the basics. And as Jeff said, the knowing enough to be dangerous in what you're doing, right? You don't have to understand pay-per-click or SEO or website design. But if you have that roadmap, you know that we know our persona. And that persona, I can't believe how, as you do this more and more, how important that is. Because if you're sitting here today and you're talking about pay-per-click and keyword strategy, if you're dangerous enough to know that, hey, we have to be smart about the keywords that we're targeting in a pay-per-click strategy, we have to have they have to go to good landing pages, a little bit, like, I'm not kidding, an hour or two worth of training, like you can get at many places. The DWY we're doing with MVPs, just an hour of training on it gets you enough knowledge so that this roadmap. Okay, it is time for us to do pay-per-click, but we need to do it on critical keywords. So if someone comes in and it is time for the pay-per-click and you're sitting down with them, enough to go and ask a few intelligent questions to understand whether they're giving you the right thing. And Jeff can attest to this a lot better than I on the technical stuff. But it's when I work with the executives and owners and companies, it's really about getting that knowledge to be dangerous, because, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, just so that you can
good danger.
Yeah.
Make good decisions.
Make good decisions. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Right. So we'll close out on this, because we got to get that guest up, because we're coming in top of the hour. So, but Jeffrey, dude, I was blown away. I was on a call with you with a client, and this is a company, they sell a product for dogs. And so Don, our friend up in Alaska, I know you went through a persona, and you shared with me, boy, this was really eye-opening going through that process. And Jeffrey, you blew me away with a bombshell. So this gentleman, was challenged, had some challenge and frustrations, like putting ads out, and he's selling a product to dogs. So it's very easy to say, hey, every dog owner on the planet is my persona, man. There's 1.8 billion people. And what you did was just brilliant. It wasn't, you guys we not just focus on your customer. Who's your customer's customer? And I'll scratch the surface and I'll let you take it, Jeffrey. So what Jeffrey determines is like, you know what? It wasn't the owner that's the customer. It's the dog that's the customer. He goes, we need to be searching. It was a dog wash product. We need to look for dirty dogs, and not just small dogs, big dogs. And now all of a sudden, take it from there, Jeffrey. I was just thrilled at watching you in action. It was just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I think it's taking a different perspective of e-commerce and what you're doing, right? Like, so they're thinking, the whole dog community is my customer, but they're really focused on cleanliness or cleaning of dogs, let's just say.
Right.
And we'll keep it vague. But their customer is the Labrador that gets muddy and gets in your car or gets in your house,
right.
Or the Saint Bernard you have, or the Great Dane or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's the customer. And if dog lovers and animal lovers, I'm an animal lover. They're like our children. We care more about them sometimes than even our children. The reality is that it is about the happiness of that pet. And so the focus of their effort needs to be about improving the happiness of that pet. Dogs don't like to have mud all over them. For a period of time they do, of course, because they roll into it. But in general terms, when they go into your house, you got to think about who and what, so clean breeds and easy breeds that keep simple are not even worth your time and effort to focus on. Go after the ones that get dirty and love to play and love to be messy and love to ruin your, floors and your couch. And, everyone that's a dog owner understands what I'm talking about.
And that team was just absolutely thrilled, and they were so frustrated. And now all of a sudden you open their eyes. We're like, instead of just like shotgun blasts of putting out, random Facebook ads or Google ads, now they can specifically go after Facebook. I love my retriever. Like you use that great example of like, anybody has that little, I love my retriever or whatever breed of dog on bumper sticker on that car. That's the persona that you're going after in that bigger dog, not the little, fluffy Chihuahua, but again,
absolutely. If you have a dog, and your dog's a certain breed, I guarantee you care and defend that breed.
Right.
So like if you have an Australian Shepherd, you're an Australian Shepherd lover. Right. So everyone who has an Australian Shepherd's part of you're awesome.
Right.
But if you don't have an Australian Shepherd, you're not quite as awesome because my dog's better than yours, right? It's just a human nature of things. Right. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity. You're right. I mean,
so
it's very clicky.
So with that, guys, so laser focused roadmap, take that guy. We want to get off the road to nowhere, get on the road to success. Damon, guys, are you ready? Dan Bigger, Gail, Don, John, are you guys ready for our special guest of the week? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
The special guest is
everyone.
We want to welcome everybody on stage. I know, Val, you're a little bit on the shy side. I hope that you come up. But, guys, we want all you guys to come up on stage.
I didn't know this. I'm not part of that.
Yeah.
I want everybody
they kept me in the dark.
Yeah, we're bringing people up. We want you to introduce yourself. So first of all,
Dan Bigger. There he is.
We've got Dan Bigger on stage with us here. So, Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on with you today.
Oh, geez. There's so much going on. What's going on today? We're almost near 10,000 on Twitter. That's
really nice. Good for you.
80 short right now.
80 short. Well, we'll get our friends and family start clicking, right?
I got people working on it.
There we go.
Dan, tell everybody what you've got going on, a little bit about yourself. I can't imagine there's anybody who doesn't know you or what you have going on, but just let's pretend that they don't.
I'm currently the Director of Sales and Marketing at Shenango Valley Technologies and one of the co-founders and co-hosts and organizers of USA Manufacturing Hour.
Yep.
Nice. And proud father of 2 sets of twins. I don't know how often that happens. And dude, your son crushed Damon. I don't know if you saw his son.
I saw that. I saw it. Oh yeah.
Man, that was just, I'm so glad you posted that. So congratulations to your kids. They're great success with their sports, and kudos to you. What a great friend you are. You're just the manufacturing ambassador for all of us. So we appreciate everything that you do, my friend.
Awesome. No, I love the community I work in. I love what I do. So it's really easy. I mean, the people I work with on a daily basis are more than refreshing.
Well,
great.
You make it look.
And my wife doesn't believe me when I say that. She thinks I'm making it all up, but it's all true.
Absolutely.
We got your back. We'll throw in a good word for you. So
yeah, you'll have to straighten her out one of these days.
So Dan, thank you for all your support, dude. You're the best. We love you. So thank you for all the support that you give to us. So thank you.
Have a great Father's Day. It's a big day for you.
Happy Father's Day.
I know this is the big weekend.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff. Awesome.
It's my anniversary tomorrow too.
It's your anniversary?
Woo! 17 years.
Awesome.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Last week my parents had 41.
Nice.
So I mean,
crazy cool.
That's a 19. That's congratulations.
My wife's grandparents hit 70.
Amazing. If my parents live that long, they'll probably hit that.
My grandparents hit 71 or 72 before they passed, and they'd always ask my grandmother, how were you so successful in marriage? She's like, we could never afford to get divorced. That was her answer.
That's what my mom. That's it. That's what my mom said. She goes. It would be too expensive for him to divorce me.
We just couldn't afford to get divorced. We stuck it out for 70 years. So
anyway, her grandfather told me the key to a successful marriage is yes, dear. So that's what I do.
Yes.
Great.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
So let's turn it over to our dear friend Gail.
Hey, Gail. Dan, great to see you, man.
Dan, good to see you, man.
Tell us, Gail, man, just another person has my heart. So Gail, let's hear a little bit about what you have going on. Share with everybody what's going on in your world.
Well, it is busy. I'm working on a few things. Obviously, one of my main clients is Cavalier Tool. I know Jake was on here, but I think Jake may have had to
take it out. Okay.
Yeah, he did jump.
But he did show up. So that's the first step. So I am working a lot in the area of encouraging people to do just that, show up, because that is a big part of how you're going to have success. So I have a 3-step process, which is sign up, suit up, and show up. And so I'm working mostly in manufacturing. I love Damon's line, which is you want to be the red M&M in the bowl of green M&Ms. I use that line very often. The other line I use is when I'm training is I said, please do not pitch slap people, which is when you connect with them and then bam, I want to sell to them. And I often say when I'm working with, especially in people that have been very accustomed to doing great jobs at in live in-person trade shows. So they go to trade shows and they connect, and most of the people in manufacturing know how to do that really well, work the floor, and they don't even call it work the floor. They would just say they're out there connecting to people, and they go to the bar and talk. But then they go on social media sometimes and they want to just all of a sudden start selling. So I'm really working on trying to make that transition of, what would you do in real life and how can you transition that over and build relationships, and you don't have to meet someone and then thrust your sales pitch on them. So
yeah.
So
awesome.
And Gail, what you're also great at, what do you do when your clients don't listen to you or take your advice?
Well, I always tell people, my clients, that you're either going to love this about me or not. But I do stress that I'm going to either nudge, push, and encourage them to take action. So most of my clients that I work, I forget, what did I used to say? I don't know. I know I said something in a meeting.
Well, you're from Canada, so you're a big hockey fan. So
I got an idea.
They call it the sin bin, right? So you're in the penalty box. You're in the penalty box if you don't listen to Gail.
I got an idea. If they, penalty box first time, next time they get a fine.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. They get a fine.
Hey, I'm here so I don't get fined, right? You just next thing you know, hey, you're getting fined.
Yeah.
And Gail,
I think it's like picking the right clients too. And I like to think
Absolutely.
well,
Yeah.
you do amazing work. And one more time, sign up, show up,
sign up, suit up, show up.
suit
There
up.
we go.
Right.
Awesome, Gail.
Suit up.
Great
Well, hey,
seeing you.
I suited up today.
That's right.
I got
romance. Oh,
Romance.
I got the
We even
romance,
talked about it,
man.
and I forgot to put my shirt on
Hey,
under that.
Dude, you're,
I had
you know, right there.
went too fast, man. Went too
So,
fast.
hey,
And they left me out. So
Yeah.
Great seeing you, Gail.
you're too young for this. You're Gail. God bless you. Thank you for
thanks,
everything.
Gail.
All right, we got Don.
Don, my friend, how are things?
Good. Is this the part where I'm supposed to join? I was invited to, so I'm not sure now.
You're
Yes.
part of the party. You're part of the party. So let's
Yeah.
share a little bit. Let's hear what's going on in Juneau. Let's share a little bit about what you've got going on.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that time is certainly valuable, and spending time always is a consideration of how you allocate that time to certain activity. And as I was thinking of my Friday mornings for me, and in investing in something that really has a dividend, just the time with you folks is worth that. And I just want to kind of say how valuable it is. And the very first thing I want you to know is that I consider you, even though we've only met via camera, I consider you a great cohort and absolutely worth the investment.
Well, Don, thank you. Completely mutual. I have immense respect for you. Dude, I have to get my Kleenex right now. So
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, don't do that.
Gonna make me. I'm
like
gonna
that.
cry. I'm gonna get going, dude.
After you turn 50, man, you can't control
Yeah.
It's just great. It's nice.
Right?
It's nice. It's nice to hear.
All right,
It's nice
you
to hear.
guys, stop it.
But Don is an amazing guy. He has a great story. And Don is not from Alaska. He and his am I saying that right? Don and his wife went up to Alaska and just fell in love with it and never left. And so God bless you, man. So tell everybody you have you've had a wonderful career, great product. You're an inventor, entrepreneur. Just tell everybody what you've got going on.
Well, very quickly, sure. What got me connected to Curt and now all of you is came up with an idea while I was fishing. And what started that is when I was with the cruise industry for Royal Caribbean, we had a long-standing argument with commercial fishermen about the ability of fish to smell their prey. And so when I kind of got downsized out of that industry, I went fishing, trying to spend some time on myself, and started working with how to add scent to all of your bait setups. And so looked for a product, couldn't find one, invented one, and now trying to work with you all to start a new career. So manufacturing here in Alaska is my goal. Selling product essentially statewide and into the lower 48 is the other goals.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Well,
I have a question.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Don, do you fish on the fly or?
My favorite form of fishing is trolling saltwater, and
Okay.
I love
We know a lot about
salmon
that.
fishing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we know a lot
that's
about
my
that.
primary target.
Downriggers and salmon fishing, we love it. Getting those kings, can't go wrong. But I was curious if you fly fished.
Yeah.
Cool.
As a high schooler, I began tying my own flies, and actually
Wow.
that experience started, if you will, appanage fishing.
Nice.
Wow, that's
Awesome.
very cool.
Well,
Very
Don,
Awesome.
first off, thank you for your kind words. We wish you an amazing, wonderful Father's Day weekend. Thank you for all of your support and all you do. And we have immense respect and admire that, this entrepreneurial spirit is just so inspiring to all of us. And we're right with you, brother, just fighting for success, e-commerce success, man. That's what our show is all about. So thank you for everything.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
right.
Don.
Thanks for being here today.
Awesome. Now we're going to the other side of the planet, Damon.
Yeah.
We're heading down to Jersey, man.
Yep.
The shore.
We have another baseball.
I'm a little
day here.
dizzy. We went about, what is it, like 7,000 miles there in one?
Yeah, really.
Like in we went 7,000 miles in about a blink. So now we're in Jersey. We have another baseball dad here. So John, welcome, dude. Thank you for all of your support, and share a little bit what you've got going on in your world.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it, guys. This has been a fantastic event. And I was sitting there like, Dan, like, where's the big surprise? Like, who's the guest? Who's the guest? And then it's like curveball. So, you know,
yeah. Hey, they didn't tell me. So.
Yeah, we didn't tell Jeff either. So
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was our little surprise. It was all for Dan Bigger. So anyway,
yeah.
John, we've gained a wonderful friendship this past year. You know, appreciate everything that you do. You are everywhere. You're a fierce networker. Tell everybody about Uptessa and what you've got going on in your world.
Yeah, so I'm the director of marketing with Uptessa, and we've been going through a little bit more of not a brand reaction. We've been trying to tweak our language a little bit to be more relatable to a broader audience. So what I've been working on and what we've been trying to tell our prospects is that we try to pinpoint the what, where, and when in production. You know, so we want to make sure you get this stuff down the line as fast as you can to save the most money as possible, utilize your inventories, lean inventories, maximizing throughput. So we're just on a path to just get as many manufacturers using the Uptessa software to really improve the day-to-day. I've had, you know, through you, Curt, and others, so many conversations, and I'm a big legal pen and pad guy, which is fine. But when I'm talking to a Fortune 100 and they say, that's how we do our planning, and it's like, yeah, that's great. But now when you're trying to, same. I threw mine away.
Buddy.
But no, it's good. But when you're talking about like a major, you know, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 company, and they're like, yeah, let me show you my whiteboard and how we do things. And I'm like, your what? Your whiteboard. Yeah, oh,
that's
okay.
my PowerPoint.
Yeah, you know, so that's where we're trying to do. You know, we want to get you out of the spreadsheets. We want to get you into the next wave of what's happening. You know, everyone talks about like Industry 4.0, and I'm telling you right now, sorry, no offense, Excel is not Industry 4.0
Yeah.
You know, so
It's been around too long.
It's been around too long, and there, you know, there's a lot there. So, you know, that's just really what, you know, the path I'm on. And, you know, recently we've had some success in the electric vehicle space. You know, we just generated a new white paper, and it's the same thing. It's like we're sitting there like, I cannot believe that these future advanced cars and minimize the amount of, you know, parts in these vehicles. They're like, yeah, let me show you my Excel sheet. We're like, oh,
Let me look at my UPCs on my credit sheet.
Exactly. You know, so it's like instant saving. ROI, I don't care what your ROI is. You want to save money, you want to save inventory, you want to save people, whatever it is. Like, it's just incredible. So that's what we're really working on. You know, having different conversations every day. You know, I'm hoping to you know, add a lot more logos by end of year. You guys have been terrific partners. Have that help getting in front of everything. USA Manufacturing Hour has been tremendous. I'm like, Gail, I need a better, you know, I need better t-shirt, but you know, we'll get there.
Romance.
Yeah, so yeah, but that's you know, that's what we got going on here. You know, this weekend, you know, Father's Day, you know, happy Father's Day, everyone on, you know, watching and on here. You know, my two boys are gonna keep me busy. We'll probably play some baseball and things like that.
Cool.
But looking forward to, you know, checking out, resetting, and you know, coming back on Monday.
Awesome. I think 5 and 7, is that what your boys are?
5 and 7. Yep, absolutely.
T-ballers. So a lot of baseball fans here in the crowd today. So, so John, thank you for everything. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, guys.
Gail, I love
Thank
that.
you.
We're going to be using that. I know she does that hashtag. So happy Father's Day, John. Appreciate you, my friend.
No, thank you.
Val came up, man.
Yeah, Valerie. Awesome.
Valerie. So Damon, man, this is a special one for me. So Val, we met a few years ago. Actually, it was at a Protocol 80 put on a live event, and they were desperate, so they had me speak at it. Sat next to poor Val the entire day, and we just bonded. We had so much fun. And then I was at an event last week with all your coworkers, and you weren't there, Val. Where were you?
I was busy working.
They were slacking. They were working on us. But Val does an amazing job. She's with a company called Manufacturing And Val, you show up every Friday. We appreciate you. We cherish you. Share everybody what you've got going on, what's been going on in your career, and what's going on at Manufacturing.
Actually, we're in the beginning steps of starting e-commerce. I can't imagine why.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
Yeah. So we're planning on that for some of our standard items.
Yeah.
We're revamping our website so it will actually be someplace where people want to land
Nice.
and learn more about us. Lots of stuff going on. We're talking about developing a podcast. We've been filming videos. We're just going full speed ahead.
Full
Nice.
speed ahead. Well, that's absolutely awesome. So appreciate everything. I know you went through the boot camp with Allison. Damon and I both went through that boot camp. So you went through that. And I have a funny story I'm going to share real quick. So one of your coworkers was at, I did this live event last week. It was a women's entrepreneur leadership retreat. And again, I'm not sure, Groucho Marx always said, I'm not going to join a club that would invite me. So I probably, if they invited me, I probably shouldn't have gone. Right. But I go to this thing, and Maggie, your coworker, so it was a LinkedIn workshop. And if you go on LinkedIn, you go on Maggie's LinkedIn, she did her thesis on something like, digging in hot springs of, did she tell you about this?
No.
She has like this high level geology thing that she did for her thesis. I can't even pronounce it, let alone say it. And so I had her LinkedIn profile on the screen, and I'm like, Maggie, I can't even pronounce this. I'm like, I went to Ohio State 100 years ago. I did okay. I'm probably one of the best 2.3 students that ever went through Ohio State. And there was a class, business classes I did all right. There was a class it was a geology class. They called it Rocks for Jocks. That's how bad it was. And I was not a good jock. I was a horrible
name.
Yeah. Rocks for Jocks. It was the only class in my college career I had to drop was Rocks for Jocks because I just couldn't get it. Maggie has like this thesis on something that I couldn't even pronounce. I'm like, Maggie, I'm like, and you work with Val? I'm like, God bless you, man. So anyway, so tell Maggie, your friend from that dropped out of Rocks for Jocks said hi. So.
Rocks for Jocks.
I will do that.
So anyway, so Val, thank you for everything. Thank you for always showing up. We appreciate you, appreciate your support, and God bless you.
Thank you,
This
Val.
has been great. This is how I meet all these people that I then go to LinkedIn and sort of follow and say, hey, I just saw you in the e-commerce success. Don't you want to connect with me?
There you go.
You're a loyal follower. We appreciate you very much. So thank you for everything. We wish you an amazing weekend and enjoy. And we've got beautiful weather here. So great to have you in the crowd.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you.
Thank you.
All right,
guys.
Curt.
So that's a wrap, man. We're at quarter after the hour. So that was our guest. I think Damon, for having God bless Alyssa. We miss her today, but since she couldn't be with us, I think we did okay. We handled ourselves.
We filled the time anyway.
We filled. So Jeffrey,
if we did okay, it's not for us to decide. It's for everybody that listened.
Right.
That's
well,
the deal. But
we
if nothing else, we had fun.
We had a great time. Jeffrey, we appreciate you taking time. We know you're super busy. Thank you for joining us, sharing your expertise.
No problem.
Both of you, all of you, I wish you guys an amazing, wonderful Father's Day. Enjoy, relax, kick back a little bit, and we wish everybody a fantastic weekend.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We're going to shut down on LinkedIn Live here so that we're ready to come back to the tables for a moment if you want to keep talking. Otherwise, we will be out for the weekend. We're going dark on LinkedIn right now. Now we're going back to the tables.